Hey guys, dating life gone pretty shitty?
I find you so creepy, I think you should have to walk around with a bell around your neck.
Finding yourself getting a little desperate for some female companionship?
Alexa, tell me you love me.
Hell no. You disgust me.
What you need is to upgrade your style right now. The Toxic Store's got exactly what you need. Pick up some stylish gear featuring Deviant Gamer, Toxic Radio, and the Heavy Metal Happy Hour.
Oh, yeah!
You can find the store through the Toxic Radio app or toxicradio.net. Get in the game.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Get yourself a little love.
That guy's getting boobies.
Yeah, he is.
Toxic Radio and the Toxic Store. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic.
Master, dinner is served. Igor, it's not that I don't appreciate the effort, but you know I prefer my meals uncooked. And how many times have I told you about using garlic? Yes, Master. Forgive me, Master. Please. Bite into Paradelphia. Thursday nights at 8, only on Toxic Radio. Paradelphia, because what if it's all true?
Enjoying all that Toxic Radio has to offer? Well, make sure you like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be the first to find out about ticket giveaways, amazing guests, awesome contests, and Toxic Radio events. Just search Toxic Radio Live, all one word, and press that little button. Every time you do, someone here at Toxic Radio will get their wings. Yay! Well, not really. Aww. But we will get a warm, fuzzy feeling in our tummies. But then again, that just might be the beer. Anyway, like and follow us, and we will see you out there on the interwebs.
Welcome to Show 43, Wire2Wire Sports Podcast. I am your host, Gene Walzak, and to my right, I have the man, the myth, the legend, Uncle Shally.
What's going on?
What's happening? To my left, I got Kent State's own, Cleveland's own, the College Cottrell.
What's going on, guys?
And we got a huge show, Show 43, Show Troy Polamalu. Our cameras are all off base, but that's okay, because I'm going to move. Look at that. Move right over.
Producer Mike.
Troy Polamalu, Dennis Eckersley.
I look good, guys.
We're going to close this show hot.
I'm missing half my head.
You do look good. You're sexy as hell. That's all right. We got NBA free agency. We got the Olympics. We got the MLB trade deadline. We got our video game bracket. Maybe remind Mike about that one. We got the offensive line, and we got the UFC heavyweight title. So might as well get started.
Let's go.
We're going to start with the Olympics. I'm going to slide back over. Mike, can you move my camera over? Yep. Big dog. All right, so we're going to start with the Olympics. Recently, it just came out with Simone Biles lost her aunt 2 days prior to the competition in the Olympics in Tokyo. I said I thought there would be something that came. There was something else that comes out, and I think this is part of it. What are your thoughts on that? Let's talk about Simone Biles and the bronze medal. Do you think that was like the only thing I don't like about the Simone Biles bronze medal thing is how they're celebrating it like she's not expected to win gold. I think she's expected to win gold. Now, obviously, losing your aunt, coming back, and everything that happened, but I think she's expected to win gold. No? Am I wrong there?
No, I agree with you. I think the problem with the whole Simone thing just in general is there's just been so many different narratives surrounding it. There's been different excuses that have come out. Not excuses, but reasons from her and the Olympic camp. So, I don't know. Obviously, like you said, when it was all said and done, it was about her aunt. That's fine. I mean, I think, again, we all talked about it. We all expected something was going to come out down the road about what really went on. But my only issue was that, okay, so that's really what it was, and that's fine. And I think everybody feels for her and is sympathetic for her, towards her, and feels compassion for her. But then it really had nothing to do with, like, the whole Twisties thing then. Like, she was just mentally in a bad place because of her aunt, and I get that. Like, all these other stories, they're like, we didn't need them. Like, they should have kept what it was.
I don't know which one was right. Do you think it was just the aunt?
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Do you think it was the Ritalin in Japan? Do you think it was the combination of both? Do you think the Twisties thing was real? Like,
I feel like it's the whole situation that she was dealing with her family. That's probably what ended up giving her the twisties as they call it. But my biggest thing though with that is I understand that she's expected to get gold, but this was 2 days ago we thought that she was going to be done for the whole Olympics. So I mean I don't know how much practice she was really getting in. I mean we saw her pretty much on the sidelines all week cheering on her teammates and everything. So I don't know if she planned on being in the event. I don't know how much practice she did. And I mean, balance beam isn't her best event. Granted, I understand she still should have, on a normal circumstance, she wins gold. But a Simone that's not fully there, not in her best event, I'm not saying we celebrate it like it's a gold medal, but I do think it's an accomplishment that should be celebrated.
Statistically, it is like her worst event, like by far. So I mean, to Gene's point, I don't know if she's even in her right mind if she wins gold. I think she'd have been closer. I don't know if she pulls it off. I think the only really downfall of this whole thing is we didn't get to see her perform the way everybody expected her to.
I wrote down that. Remember when we talked about the Olympics?
Yeah, like she was absolutely, if not the number one, number two thing that everybody wanted to watch in this Olympics. It's going to be her last one, barring some crazy. I just don't see her coming back at 28.
No way.
That's like being.
I think it's possible now just because of everything that's happened. I don't think this is how she wants to go out.
She's got to stay very healthy.
Understood.
There's a reason she's old for a gymnast now.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that, and this is not Simone Biles' fault at all. I mean, she went through and everything she went through was correct. I just feel like Suni Lee really didn't get the spotlight like she should have.
Fair point.
It was like, oh, she won. She's like the 5th U.S. Gymnast in a row to win all around gold, and then it was right back to Simone Biles, and that annoyed me on the media's part. And again, that's not Simone Biles' fault. She didn't get her spotlight. She didn't get her her 15 minutes, and I think that's very unfortunate. She didn't get celebrated anywhere near enough, in my opinion.
Dante really is hammering home the riddle, and it was the riddle, and ultimately her aunt passing away adds onto her depression, and the reason she needs it in the first place. The twisties were the icing on the cake. So I mean, we can all speculate what it would be. I think it was a combination of all. I want to get into something else because there's a ton of Olympic topics. The United States women's soccer team, who was unbelievable. Like, I think they won like 43 straight matches going
They were
into
unbeaten in 44.
44 straight
So
matches.
that counts ties. But yeah, out of this 44, I think there was like 35 or 36 wins. I forget what the number was.
They lose 3-0 to Sweden early. And I'm like, all right, well, our tournament starts now. Then they have a tie. Oh, crap. All right, we need a win to move forward. Then they move forward. They get into the elimination brackets, and they win in the quarterfinals. And then they get a semifinal game to which their offense, to me, their offense never looked in sync. I was waking up early in the morning, 6:30, watching them on TV. Man, my sleep schedule's been screwed up because I was staying up to watch USA basketball. But what were your thoughts on the United States women's national soccer team going down? And, I mean, they didn't play the bronze medal game, right? They play tomorrow?
They play this morning.
Oh, they play this morning?
No, they play like 4
this
o'clock.
upcoming morning.
Yeah, they play like 4 o'clock in the morning.
So they might not even medal.
The Canada loss for me is unforgivable. I don't know how else to say. Disappointment doesn't even begin to cover it. The talent disparity between the two teams. I think we've played them 51 times in the course since Canada's had a national team. I think we have 46 wins or something like that. To lose on that stage to that team. Canada is definitely an up-and-coming program, don't get me wrong. They've been building for the last 8 years, but they're still nowhere near. If we go out and play our C game, we should win that game. I'll get into some of this later, but that I don't know if it's the coaching change, for third coach in the last 4 years we've gone through since people have retired. If it's the aging roster, I don't know. They didn't look in sync all tournament. The Sweden game was a wake-up call. They were fortunate to get past the Netherlands. Very fortunate, honestly. And the Netherlands, but to that point, the Netherlands are a way better team than Canada. I thought when they got past them, they would definitely beat Canada and at least get to the gold medal game. If they were going to beat Sweden, I don't know. Sweden's probably the better team now. And this team,
I think you said it perfectly, though. I think it's the age. I really do. Like, I honestly think.
Besides Carly, who?
Carly Lloyd, Megan Rapinoe. She's 36.
She's 34.
Okay. My point being is
Carly's
they're
the
older.
Carly's the only old
Megan
one.
was 36.
Yeah, I think Megan is 36.
Yeah, okay. I got
Okay,
corrected
for the
really
part.
quick for someone.
I think she's younger, but
Pretty sure she's 36,
regardless,
so.
it's you're still talking about two people. The rest, some of that team, they've turned over and they're younger. So I mean,
Petey said it too. He said that they need to get younger and build the next generation.
Yeah, I
agree.
mean, I think this is the last time we see, and it's honestly kind of sad to say it, but this is the last time that we see this roster as is. I mean, there's so many great American players that you've come to love over the past 8 or so years, like, you know, Megan Rapinoe. I think this is probably the last time we see her in the Olympics. Carly Lloyd, another one. I think this is the last time we see her.
Well, Carly, you're definitely done. I mean, it's
Alex Morgan. I mean, Alex Morgan's going to keep playing, but she's not what she used to be. Like, there's this just roster as a whole, like the Stars, it's just not what we're accustomed to seeing with the U.S. women's soccer. And it's definitely disappointing to see them lose to Canada because you would think that they were the better team. I mean, there's nothing.
Morgan, you'll get back. I mean, she had a kid 14 months ago.
You get her back, but she's not the same superstar that she once was.
She will be. Morgan's young enough. Morgan's actually one of the people I don't worry about.
The one thing though too that I wanted to say before you, I know you got a quick statement. The penalty that happened in the Canada game, I thought it was. Now I'm not saying the U.S. wins if it goes to PKs like later on down the road or anything like that, but I feel like the penalty that got called was very controversial, and it could have easily went the other way. And this is a conversation that we might not be having, but I mean, we're here now, so.
I don't think you should have to have it.
Oh yeah,
if it was 2-2 and they scored 2 goals already and that penalty happened, my question I'm going to ask is this: so if I give you two like slivered up on a plate, what made the bigger difference? The coaching change or the loss of everyone's leader in that Ann Abby? I know like she wasn't playing in the last Olympics, like, but she was there. She was that leader there.
She played a decent. Here's the other thing. This has been going on and off for now 2 cycles. They play very well at the World Cup, but they do not play well at the Olympics. And I don't know what the reason is for that. It's a very, very weird phenomenon.
A lot of people say that I'm ignorant, so like correct me if I'm wrong. But a lot of people say that the offsides in the Olympics get called a lot more frequently than they do in the World Cup with FIBA.
Well, it's because they have VAR now. So using that whole system for goals and offsides, it's way more touchy now than it was. But you're going to see it in the World Cup now.
Okay. The reason I say that is because they had their most goals called back.
Yeah,
but they were off.
They were making a big deal of it, but some of them were like blatant. Like,
I was going to say there was only one like really close call, and that was that was the Netherlands game.
Yeah.
And it was like
I was texting
it was like
you guys
a foot.
what happened.
Yeah, it was like barely across. But I mean, she was offside, so I think for me at least, I'm okay with as long as the call is correct. I don't want you to keep going to video, and get the call wrong. They've been getting it right during the Olympics, so I'm completely fine with that. I feel like the bigger issue though to your question, I think it's the aging roster and the coaching changes. I don't think it's Abby Wambach's presence not being there at all. I don't think that has anything to do with it, just because all these players it'd be different if these players hadn't been in that stage before. Most of these players have been on that stage. They know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to be, playing at an elite level. So I don't want to say it's, Abby. I'm sure they missed her presence there, but these players know how to get it done when the lights are on the brightest.
That's fair, and you're probably right. But my point being is a leader like her, like everyone looked up to her. She was the person that so who's all right, so let me ask you a question real quick.
Carly Lloyd's that person now. Carly Lloyd's been on the team. Carly Lloyd was actually on the team longer than Abby Wambach was. So I'm going to go C in either. I think it's the players. I don't think it's the age. I think they choked. I don't think they played well.
You don't think it's coaching at all?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't disagree with it. I think that's very, very well could be the case. I just, of the options given,
I'm giving those two. I guess, I mean, again, I don't think it was tactics. I don't think their formations were wrong. And to Rapinoe's credit, he kind of got questions about stuff afterwards, right after they lost, and she actually cut the reporter off and she put the blame on the entire team, not him. So I don't think it's either. I just don't think they just didn't play well. They didn't rise to the occasion that we're used to watching them.
They didn't look like themselves the entire the entire Olympics. Just my opinion. We got to move on. We can't take too long on soccer. USA basketball plays tonight at 12:40.
Yep.
They're playing against my man Matisse Thybulle in Australia.
Patty Mills, the GOAT.
Patty Mills. They're 12.5-point favorites. I think it's a little high.
It's down from that, I think. It was earlier anyway. It might have went back up. I saw it down to 10.5 at one point.
I mean, I think that, in my personal opinion, I think Australia's roster is better than Spain's.
I think it's too much.
I know Spain's listed as number 2 in FIBA rankings, but I think Australia's roster is better than Spain.
Yeah, I mean,
I would agree with that.
The problem, though, is with international basketball, it's not just about whose roster is better, because, like, Spain, they've had these players that, not saying Australia hasn't, but Spain's had these players that have played together for 12, 14 years now, and they know how each other play. They know how to get the best out of each other. But with Australia, though, you do have you got some guys you really got to worry about tonight.
Joe Ingles.
Yep.
You got Patty Mills.
Patty Mills is going to be
Thibault,
on fire.
defending
you
people.
You know how he plays during the international game. It's
here. See if they put Matisse on.
Matisse doesn't start for them.
I know, but he's going to play a lot.
He played more minutes than.
He's going to play a lot tonight against us. And I don't go by again to both your points. I don't go by those rankings a lot either, because I feel like it's not like soccer where like the international teams are constantly playing.
Yep.
Like we don't play international basketball really till the Olympics, and then we throw a bunch of NBA players in there, so they're just like, oh, you guys are like the best team. Like, whereas other teams play more, like they develop players through that program.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
Yeah. And a lot of those guys play together in their league, whatever league that they're in. So that kind of gives them more of an advantage too.
I'm with you. I tend to think it's gonna be a close game. I mean, they already beat us once. I mean, I don't.
And they beat us without Patty Mills.
Yeah, and this team is. It's frustrating to watch them because you keep saying it too. They just have these lulls in the down periods where they just look terrible, and then they have the ability to turn it on just because they have the level and talent of players that they have.
Here's the big difference.
But eventually, I mean, you're just it's Russian roulette, man. You're playing with fire, playing.
That's a great way to put it.
Here's the big difference. They are playing much better defense now in the last 3 games than they did in the exhibition games and the first game versus France. When I watch them play, their offense, to me, which should be the easy part of the game for them, is the thing that's struggling. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna call people out the way it is. Dame Lillard looked bad. You know who looked worse than Dame Lillard? Bam Adebayo needs to get off the damn court. I don't care if you got to put JaVale McGee in. Bam Adebayo looks lost, bro. He looks terrible. He looks awful. Now, where I will give credit where credit's due, I think someone that's not getting the credit they deserve right now is Draymond Green. Draymond Green is such a smart. I think he's like 9 for 9 in the Olympics right now.
He's definitely their glue guy right now.
Man, playing great defense. Passing the ball, playing point forward, setting screen and rolls, playing great defense. Let me add that again.
That's what he does. I mean, he's been criticized on the show for being overrated. And again, I think you put him in a situation like this, you see what he is. He is what he is. I mean, there's a reason they continue to keep paying him in Golden State and extending him and bringing him back. There's a reason Steph and all those guys stick up for him constantly. Like that's the guy he is. You need a guy like that. You need a guy like that to your point is going to off there on the bench. He's going to tell Dame like, hey, stop doing this, or on the floor. Like he's that guy. He's that guy you need to have on the floor. And he does all the intangibles and dirty things that a lot of players don't want to do.
Dame Lillard's been looked at as the number 2 star on this team, and he has been a liability. He has.
I don't know if I'll go liability, but he definitely hasn't played up to that. I will 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, as a whole, no, he hasn't. He hasn't played up to his standard at all. I will agree with you on that. Fourth quarter, he played a little bit better.
He did.
Last game, but he's still not at his standards. But as a whole, though, I feel like the problem right now with Team USA, I'm kind of shifted off of their. I mean, I still think the team was put together poorly. But I feel like the part that is giving them issues now is I feel like they're trying to get too many people involved. Like it's like no one player can get like a true rhythm going. It's like Kevin Durant, he's starting to go off. Then they start to give the ball to Devin Booker. Then they give the ball to Jason Tatum. At certain points, it almost feels like they're forcing things too much. Like I feel like with them not really running any sort of traditional offense, feed the hot hand. If Kevin Durant doesn't have it going, find out who does have it going. If you're running you're running your offense and U.S. is, for the most part, has been cold pretty much all tournament. So stop. It's not always about finding the open man. I understand that's the way to get the easy bucket. But if they're not hitting it, Give it to your guy who has the hot hand, or create some offense in the paint and stop shooting so many jump shots.
They're so reliant on Kevin Durant. It's
Absolutely.
it's
Just
tough
ask
to
a
watch.
question. They get close tonight. You have to think Australia's taking Kevin Durant away. We're going to try really hard to.
Yeah,
I don't think they have a player to take Kevin Durant away, though.
I think you run two guys out and you do something. I mean, again, it's one of those situations, especially the way they're playing. If we need a last second shot, I'm not letting Kevin Durant take that shot. Who do we go to? Dame's usually the guy. I don't know if I have confidence if you give him the ball, it's going in
Dame
right
would
now.
be my closer.
The way it's going right now, I probably would say Jason Tatum's that guy.
No,
Jason Tatum's been a consistent guy on that team. That's a guy I would trust to take that shot.
Jason Tatum's been a front runner on the team. He's played bad when they're behind. He's played good when they're ahead. I'm just telling you like it is. I watched the games, bro. He's played good when they're up 6 points, up 8 points, up 10 points. He's hit those threes when they're up 12 to go.
Up 6 points is a ridiculously close game. Bro, it's a 2-possession game.
When Chris Paul was doing that though, he was.
When he feels the pressure. Listen, Dame's my closer, but I'll tell you right now. Here's what I would do on Popovich. Sounds stupid. Sounds crazy. I'm going to tell you the truth. I start Drew Holiday over him, and I get Dame acclimated to the game.
Who's taking your last shot, though? That's the question. If it's not Kevin Durant,
I'm saying start Drew Holiday over him, and then you see how the flow of the game goes. And if Kevin Durant's not taking your last shot, that's when you get Dame Lillard involved. And I think Dame would be your closer, but not your starter. And with that Team USA basketball team with that much talent, I start Drew Holiday.
That's never going to happen, though. Like
Right.
as is right now, like Dame's your starter. Who's taking your last shot if it's not Kevin Durant?
Dame Lillard.
So, okay.
The only other player that has ice water in his veins on the roster.
I was just curious what your answer was going to be because we brought this all up.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
because he's not playing well.
He's not, but in the fourth quarter, I still got to know he's Dame Lillard.
I don't
Same
disagree.
time. I mean, even the last fourth quarter versus Spain, he was playing terrible all game. I think it was like 1 for 9.
Fourth quarter,
Then he
started
went
out five quick points.
9 points.
Well, five was like right out the gate.
That was the first time in the whole tournament he's really looked like himself.
Speaking of players that look like themselves, I'm going to get an NBA free agency. NBA free agency, a lot of talk. Teams that made splashes, the Lakers, the Chicago Bulls. Any big ones other than that?
In free agency?
Miami Heat.
Miami had a good period.
Miami, Chicago, LA. Who's won the offseason so far?
I think for me, there's two different pieces. I think on draft night, I would say Houston and Golden State won draft night. And then for free agency, I would say the Lakers and the Bulls won. Like free agency / like their trades and everything.
Super team.
I don't think it's a super team.
I think they're going to struggle, but that's neither here nor there.
The funny thing is that I understand, like, I mean, of the word super team, I think that's accurate. It is a super team. They got three guys who are going to be all-stars. But it's funny because I keep hearing how LeBron's on the downside of his career. I keep hearing how AD's not a top 10 player, how fragile he is, and I keep hearing about how overrated Russell Westbrook is. But now this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So that's
not.
I'm with you.
I don't think anybody said that, but
I don't think it's that. To me, I think Brooklyn's leaps and bounds still better than them.
Me too. I think
leaps and bounds.
I think they can get there, but right now, as is, it's not.
I think it's a terrible. I think it's a terrible construction of a roster. Everybody swears the Lakers are great because everything they did. They had a 36-year-old Carmelo. You got Russell Westbrook can't shoot. Shoots like Ben Simmons. You got like all these players on this team. I just don't think they're good.
I liked them adding Russ and Carmelo just because it seemed like if AD is going to be out, obviously if AD is out, they're not going to win anything. But if AD is going to be out for short periods of time and you take LeBron off the court, now you have guys who can actually create their own offense, and it's not going to just be dull, movement and everything. Russell Westbrook can go get a bucket. What are you looking at me like that for? Russell Westbrook can go get some points while LeBron's taking a breather.
If I'm a team and Russell Westbrook's running my second team offense, I'm still mad.
Oh yeah, but is that better? Is that not better than Alex Caruso and God knows who else?
Well, let's talk about a championship team. Let's not talk about a borderline fringe playoff team. That's what they want to be.
I mean,
right?
last year,
but yes, it's better than what they were last year.
Yes,
But I still think they're not going to be good.
I think they're better offensively than they were last year.
I agree.
You got rid of your best 3 efficiency-wise defensive players between Caruso, Schroeder, and Caldwell Pope. I mean, I think. Listen, I'm curious to see Russ and LeBron play together because Russ to me, when you say you want a scoring point guard, Russ is not the guy that I would ever ultimately pick to play with LeBron. I wouldn't.
Nope, I agree.
Like he'd be towards the bottom. He's not, for as much as people want to bash on LeBron or whatever, he knows the game better than anyone, and he plays. And the reason he's as good as he is because he plays the game a certain way, and he wants guys to play that way. Russell Westbrook's not that guy. I'm very curious to see how that's gonna come together and gel. You have Carmelo, who plays no defense. You added all these other guys. I think they're going to score more. I think they're going to be terrible defensively, like terrible. They might end up better than they were last year, simply because.
Well, yes, they'll be better than the 7 seed.
Yeah, I mean, that was the worst 7 seed ever.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're a top 3 team in the Western Conference?
As is, yes.
Sure.
I mean, there's
again,
nobody you can argue.
There's still
right now.
other dominoes you have to see where they're going to fall. I mean, if Dame stays in Portland, then that's one big one. If Kawhi does go back to LA, that's another one, which I don't think he is. Then yeah, I mean, I mean, you got Utah, Phoenix, Denver, assuming they're healthy, but we don't know when you're getting Murray back. So
I just think that the Lakers roster is not constructed well. So let me ask you a question. Give me 2 teams that won the offseason so far. You gave me 4. Mark it down to 2. And then give me 2, Bill, in a minute.
All right. Who won the offseason so far?
Who's winning the offseason? At halftime.
Chicago's definitely one. I'm going to go with Golden State as my other one. I really like what they did the draft.
How about you, Bill?
Definitely Chicago. I think that was a team that didn't have. Again, I'm not saying they're going to win a championship. I'm just saying they are a vast improved team of what they're going to put on the court from last year. They made, I think, Alonzo Ball trade is signing is underrated. I think that's going to help them. I'm curious to see how DeRozan and Levine are going to play together, but they're a way better team than they were last year. They're going to make the playoffs next year.
Okay, give me a second one.
I think Miami put itself
in
a decent.
Thank you.
I think
waiting for that.
I think they have a 2-year window to do something. I wouldn't have maxed Jimmy out.
That's why they aren't in my high.
I wouldn't have done that, but
I'm talking about this offseason.
No, I agree.
I know they signed Jimmy this offseason.
No, I know.
For 4 years, $185 million.
I mean,
that's insane.
But you're guaranteeing.
That's insane.
Listen, again, this is kind of like it's not as bad, but it's like the Dak thing. Like they've given themselves a very good 2-year window to win something. So I'll give them that credit. I think they overpaid Duncan Robinson as well. But they brought in talent. They're a better team than they were last year right now, as they sit.
Miami's a better team than Philly right now. They are. Miami's my answer, and then second one's Golden State. But Miami's the clear-cut winner to me.
I think
for at least the next 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the next couple of weeks will be telling, depending on what the Sixers do. I mean, they're still floating stuff with Ben. Again, I'm staying pat with what I think. I think he's going to be on opening night roster.
I'm going to make a statement to you, and I want to make it on the masses intentionally. I told you this the other day. You laughed. I'm going to say it out loud on the air because I want it to be known.
I don't know what ludicrous.
If Ben Simmons is on this roster for opening day in Philadelphia,
you said it.
You
said it 2 shows ago.
If Ben Simmons is on this roster opening day, I will go to the game. I'm buying tickets. I will get as close as I possibly can, and I will be thrown out of that game by halftime. Now, I won't yell obscenities because there's children there, but I'm telling you right now, I am going to harass him so much they're going to have to throw me out of the game.
I don't know what you're going to have to say to get out of there, man, because we're not cursing or anything at him. I don't know.
I'm going to stand up the entire time. You shoot it, you coward.
I don't think so. You're
Like,
going to have a long night of softball before. Everything's going to be hurting. You're going to be like, all right, it's about 6 minutes left in the first quarter. I'm going to have a seat now.
I promise you.
Ben's playing well. I'm going to sit down now.
I promise
hit that 3, Ben. All right, Ben.
I promise you I will be doing it the entire
Come on here. I love
time.
Ben Simmons. I'm so glad we kept him.
You find that tape.
Ben is going to be a...
No.
You find that.
Find what?
Where I say I love Ben Simmons.
No, we're saying
saying
that's
that's
what
a
you're going to
future
say.
Not happening.
He's going to be here.
Coward.
I don't think anything is going to... Again, if they get exactly what they want, I think they're in the same exact boat as they were before. They have an asking price. Obviously, they know they're not going to get that. If
Johnny Bracero, bet me a cheesesteak.
If somebody blows them away, I think they'll trade him. If not, I think they have every intention of keeping him. He's starting to work out again. We'll see. I just think he's going to be here because I don't think his value is anywhere near what they think it is, and they can get what they want for him.
If the reports are anything close to being true, Ben Simmons is going to be here until the day that he dies.
I don't know about that, but he's definitely going to be here next year.
I'm saying if they keep that asking price where all these reports are at, where they're asking for 4 firsts and 2 really good players, yeah, he's gonna be a Sixer forever.
Bro, Ben Simmons is the softest superstar in the league. He stinks.
I'm not going there.
Soft. Baby shit soft.
Well, he's young.
Bro, I'm tired of hearing that excuse.
That's
I'm
fine.
tired of it.
You be tired
Scared.
of it all you want.
You don't have the mentality.
It doesn't change it.
Doesn't change how old he is.
Johnny Pissarro, is that lock it in? Lock it in. Cheesesteak bet. Thank you.
What's he say?
He said Ben Simmons 100% will be on the roster opening day. And I'm telling you right now, if he is, I'm going to buy Johnny Pissarro cheesesteak, then I'm going to go down to the stadium, and I'm going to get thrown out.
All right. Well, realistically, where do you think he's going now? A lot of things have fallen to like really eliminate places he can go.
I've still told you. I've been very consistent with this. I think he ends up a Spur when it's all said and done. My backup is Sacramento, and my third is Golden State. They're the 3, like, bing, bing, boom.
Bing, bing, boom.
I would love it for Dame Lillard, but we're not getting that.
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm glad it's realistic now.
If Dame goes anywhere, he's going to Golden State.
Dame's not going anywhere yet.
Okay, so there was another big thing happening in sports where players move teams.
That they did.
MLB Trade Deadline.
I will say NBA and MLB brought the heat this year.
Big facts.
They did not disappoint.
Big facts.
Because MLB has a reputation sometimes of a lot of talk, and then the deadline comes Friday, and like 2 people get traded.
The one thing that I don't like about MLB is that the trade deadline happened, and then like there's like other deals that happen like a couple weeks later, like people get moved, and it's not like an official trade.
Well,
but
here goes Bill defending it. It's terrible idea.
I'm not defending it. It's 2 different things though. There's waiver and non-waiver. So you could do other things, but it has to clear like certain protocols for it to get done. So it's just complicated. I agree. I wish they would get rid of it. I'm 100%. I don't like teams that hang on and then 3 weeks later realize they're out, and then they still unload people. It's a problem in baseball. I think it should be like every other sport. Here's your trade deadline. Yep. You're a buyer, you're a seller. Make up your mind. If you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. Trade your people. If not, go play baseball.
The MLB Trade Deadline was fire. Bracero, you're absolutely correct. And Hackney, I'll get into your Indy comment in a little bit. Talking about Carson once again. So he's a Titans fan, so whatever. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, MLB Trade Deadline was fire. Chicago gave away their whole roster.
Yeah,
did what they should have did, in my opinion.
For the most part.
It's
you got to dump those guys. Every one of them.
The rumor the whole time was they were going to move Bryant. Rizzo, they didn't think. And then the consensus was the one guy they were going to keep the build around was going to be Javi. And they traded all of them. So, they are
full rebuild.
Full rebuild. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That team is at a full rebuild. They are not going to be good for the next couple of years. So, sorry, Cubs fans. You're going to go back to being the normal Cubs fans that you're used to.
I think they're going to be good in 3 years.
You're magic. Yeah, but 3 years is a long-ass time. That's
2.5.
And that's also assuming that you hit on your baseball guys.
I think they're going to have
your rookies. And
the only thing I will say is they're going to have an enormous amount of money to spend come free agency. So, again, it's an attractive place to play. So, we'll see. But they're going to have those guys were all drafted for the most part. So, they're all homegrown guys. So, I don't know if they're going to try to stick with that model or they're going to go over to we're going to start paying people. So
they can only be second fiddle to the White Sox for so long in that city. Because the White Sox they're going to be the attraction right now. So depending on how long the White Sox are good, it's going to be
problem with that is
they're going to have to accelerate the process.
White Sox are set up to be good for a long time.
Correct.
They have a lot of young talent that they're not overpaying for yet. Young pitching staff. Giolito and Lynn are getting up there, but again, I think Lance Lynn's on a 1-year deal. That's like steal beyond steal. He's going to get paid, but that team's going to be very good. That team's going to be they have a very open window right now.
So who do you think had the best trade deadline?
It has to be the Dodgers. I mean, they gave up a lot. Don't get me wrong. They gave up Josiah Gray. They gave up their top 2 prospects. All 4 of the prospects they gave up are in the top 10. But they got debatably the best 2 players that were available in free agency or on the trade deadline. And most people didn't think Trey Turner was even going to be available. That was another signal that Washington's probably about to do the same thing that Chicago did.
Yep. Go with that.
The only thing they have going for them is they have the piece they want to build around already.
Correct.
So,
and they just got 4 prospects from the Dodgers.
4 very good prospects.
Yeah, it's facts.
What's the kid's name? But it has to be L.A. I think it's another signal that what you're going to hear in the next couple weeks is Trevor Bauer's not going to pitch for that team.
No, that's why they just signed Cole Hamels.
Yeah. So that is to me, that is what they've gotten back already. I wouldn't even be surprised if Trevor Bauer gets arrested.
So what are they going to do with their infield now that they have Trey Turner? Have they announced like what their official not roster, but what their official
they need to.
chart is going to be yet?
Well,
no, they got to figure it out.
No, what do you mean? They got to figure it out. What do you mean?
No, they don't have to announce it now.
No, they don't have to announce it now. But
figure it out right now.
I'm saying, like,
have they announced it? Trey Turner's back in 3 days, so it's going to get announced real soon.
I haven't seen anything that said like somebody moving the outfield. Like, what's going on?
Hackney, you're stealing my thunder.
Listen, you trade for the guy.
You figure it out after. I understand the game plan.
I know he's near and dear to Gene's heart. And it was one of the best segments ever on the show, but Corey Seager is not playing over Trey Turner, so I don't know. I don't know. Listen, they've rotated a lot of people in and out of second base, so Corey Seager is definitely good enough to play second base. So in my mind, I would move Corey Seager to second base.
But then what do you do with Taylor?
Taylor can be listen again. If Seager's healthy, he just came back too, so you got to see what he's got to do. I move Seager to second base. Seager's a better player than Taylor, in my opinion. And I'm rolling with Seager and Turner in the middle. Turner and Muncy the corners. Cody Bellinger can't hit a beach ball right now, so he's hitting like 170.
It's amazing how much talent that team has.
Stupid.
How many names at least? Their payroll's $290 million.
And it's just getting higher.
$290 million. Do you know the bottom 6 teams in the MLB can add their payrolls together and they're still not where the Dodgers are at? Bottom 6 teams in the league. Isn't that incredible?
So
I think Turner's playing second too.
Keibert Ruiz was the other one I couldn't think of. He's the catcher prospect, number 2 in their organization. Very good.
It's reported out of LA, Hackney? Is that a fact? Is that like a real thing? They said Hackney said that Trey Turner is playing second base. And he said it's a report out of LA.
Supposedly. What's the source? And don't say Facebook. What report?
No, he's gone. Well, give it. He
literally just answered. He said that report.
I read that earlier.
That's just Mike throwing it.
Mike posting up there. I think the Yankees.
Oof.
They got Rizzo and Gallo in that short ballpark. They're gonna get 190 home runs second half of the season.
They didn't address the need they needed to address.
Yep.
they're
And
just gonna outslug teams.
The problem is they're not even doing that right now.
No.
I think they will.
Listen, Joey Gallo was a huge get for them. You're still running 3.
You still got that lefty in the short porch with Rizzo.
Right. But you're still running out 3 or 4 muscle hulks to play the outfield in that stadium. Like,
it's fair.
Like if Joey Gallo is your center fielder, dude,
you're in trouble.
Dude is a way better athlete than people give him credit for, and he's better defensively. He's got a cannon too. He's not a center fielder though. You're gonna have Judge and Wright, and I don't know what you're gonna do in left. Stanton's gonna be your DH, and you're gonna put Rizzo at first, obviously. They got better. I'm 100% with you. That lineup is
stacked.
It's stacked. It's still lefty heavy, but
it's okay with that park.
It is, but again, playoffs you're going to go matchup for matchup. So I mean, those guys are going to have to hit left-handed pitching.
They have to make the playoffs,
and there's that.
Yeah,
but
correct.
Boston's in the middle.
Isn't it like? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the number I looked at it before the season started is 73% of pitchers in Major League Baseball right-handed. Is that correct?
That's probably accurate. It's probably close. Yeah,
that's kind of what it was before. So having a left-handed dominant lineup, I'm good with.
But again,
especially with short porch and right.
But what do a lot of really good playoff teams all have in common?
Strong lefties.
Correct. So
I get it. If I'm
have
the
like-
Yankees, I need to get to the playoffs.
Like you look at like Andrew Miller, like Hader from Milwaukee, all those dudes. Those guys get so much money because they're the guys that come out at the end and they get out Joey Gallows, they get out, Anthony Rizzo's, so forth and so on.
Joey Gallo bats 1,000. You're not getting him out.
I'm
Kidding, bro. It's a joke, obviously.
He hits the ball a mile. I love watching him hit the ball, but he's legit like a 220 career hitter.
Johnny Bracero said Giants getting Bryant was big.
It was big because it was out of nowhere. The Dodgers were loading up, and then they just pulled that move literally out of thin air at the end. Because up until I was reading everything, up until like an hour, we were knee deep trying to get him.
Bro, what are your teams, Hackney? You said Dodger Nation. He's a Dodgers fan too?
Whatever.
Dodgers, Titans. Who are your teams, bro? Where did you come up with this shit?
Mets getting Baez, I think, it's going to be
Rangers
key for them
Suarez.
down the road.
I love Petey. What?
So I think the Mets getting Javi Baez will be key for them down the road. Just depends on how everything works out with Lindor.
I'm going to tell you what killed the Mets is, and I guess we jinxed them when we talked about it.
Yep.
DeGrom's not pitching until September.
Yep.
That's a problem for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're not getting Thor back. He already had setbacks, so Stroman, Trace. They did get Carrasco back the other day. I'm curious to see how he pitches. I think he's pitching tonight, actually, or this afternoon he might have. He could be helpful. T1 Walker is falling apart at the seams. His ERA is 16 since the All-Star break. I guess the All-Star game went to his head. They're going the wrong way. Boston, for the Yankees, sake, they've lost 5 in a row now. They're playing tonight. I think they're losing right now again.
Mets are up 3-2.
There you go. So
sixth inning.
Is he pitching now? Is that right?
Carrasco pitched 4 1/3,
All right.
two earned runs.
How many
Not
pitches?
bad.
How many pitches?
82.
Okay, so he's
62.
all right, so he's not stretched out yet. So
Correct.
they'll keep doing that. He could be a huge help. I mean,
Carrasco could be.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a great story, I mean, it's him. But there's a lot of moving parts right now. Chris Bryant deal was huge. Chicago stealing Craig Kimbrell. They have 2 all-star closers. I mean,
You can never have enough all-star relievers.
you can't. I mean, Jesus Christ, Phillies fans will tell you. I mean, we can't get one that can get the job done 60% of the time. They got 2 guys that close at a 95% clip. That's huge too. I mean, you get if you have a good setup guy.
Oh, I feel like an asshole.
Why?
Hackney just said the source was Dodger Nation. He's not a Dodger fan.
Okay. All right,
That makes more sense now. I'm still like well, Dodger Nation.
Apologize. to Hackney.
Sorry, Chris.
Apologize, damn it.
All right, did. See, I can.
I mean that's probably reputable. So I mean that's what they're doing. I don't know. I wouldn't do that, but hell, I'm not the manager, so I'm sitting here and Dave Roberts is out there.
Okay.
Trey Turner's a better shortstop though.
Who wins? Give me your World Series prediction. What 2 teams?
I mean, I'm sticking with the Dodgers. What did I predict? Who did I pick come out of the East or the AL?
I think you picked the Yankees.
I threw him off.
There's
just said it.
no way in hell I picked the Yankees.
He picked the White Sox.
I think I did pick the White Sox.
He did.
I'm sticking with it. I like it.
You want to give me one? I know. I just threw this on both of you guys. I don't give a shit.
Definitely Dodgers in the NL. I mean, I think and Scherzer and Trey Turner is
Scherzer pitches tonight too. I think
that'll be incredible. On the other side, I want to say the White Sox, but I don't want to pick the same team as Bill right now. Give me the Red Sox.
If it's the right answer, it's right. You said the Red Sox?
Red Sox?
No way.
I literally just told you to get ready to lose like the 6th game in a row, and you're like, let's pick the Red Sox.
I think it's the White Sox, but I don't want to agree with everybody.
I mean, if
you don't want to go Dodgers versus cheaters.
If you don't want to be right, that's fine. And that would probably be my second choice.
Dodgers versus cheaters.
I do love that they gave.
I like the
it to
Brewers
last
too,
year.
but I wish the Brewers would have did more.
I'll tell you right now, man. Brewers
actually
Dodgers.
one of my
Brewers Dodgers gonna be a hell of a series.
Yeah,
if that's what it
I
boils
feel like
down
that
to.
the Dodgers got a lot better, and the Brewers just really did.
They just stayed pat, you know.
I feel like that, like the Dodgers are like, we're winning the World Series here, and the Brewers are like, we're pretty happy where we're at right now.
Brewers like, all right, we have like $150 million payroll. We'll just sit here.
Yeah, Christian Yelich. We're good.
He's on COVID list, not been playing.
I don't think that the Red Sox, no chance.
Nah, again, I think you're going to see the dive that we've all said is coming for a while.
Astros versus White Sox, ALCS.
Ooh, Astros Dodgers would be fire though.
I think,
especially after with what went on last night.
I will tell you, I hope the Blue Jays can find a way to sneak into the playoffs.
Listen,
because they're another team that they went in at the deadline.
One of the most underrated moves of the entire thing was them getting Barrios. That kid has lights out stuff when he's on. I agree. He will help them tremendously. They just lost Biggio though, so
Chris Sale returns soon for the Red Sox. So maybe
we have no idea where we're getting him in.
Like 2 years off.
Yeah, almost
just about. Yeah.
And I love Chris Sale. I dude, he is fun to watch. He is beyond quirky and awkward, and he's a very good pitcher. It's impossible to predict what he's going to be.
Guys, ready to get in some video games?
Let's do it.
You guys ready to get in some video games?
Let's eliminate somebody that
I'm ready.
Yo, shout out to Deviant Gamer show on Toxic Radio. FYI. All right, so we got the video game bracket, Sweet 16. Mike, I need you to do me a favor, and it's anticlimactic. But start in the bottom right. We always start in the upper left. Start in the bottom right this time. We're going to do all Sweet 16 now.
That's odd.
Yep. Well, you know why. Maybe you don't. I don't want to talk to you about this too much.
We went through this last week, though.
Knockout
the left
Kings,
side is the tougher side.
Knockout Kings versus Tecmo Bowl. Knockout Kings versus Tecmo Bowl. I'm going to start here with going with Knockout Kings. And I told you this last week it was going to happen. Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson, Knockout Kings 2000. A phenomenal game. I think it's obviously going against the lesser of the two Tecmo Bowls. I think the Tecmo Bowl might be the fourth best football game remaining in the Sweet 16. So I'm going Knockout Kings.
Do you want me to go or do you want to go?
I already know where you're going, so I guess I'll let you go.
All right. I'm going Tecmo Bowl. It's the original. None of these other games are here without it. It's the first.
What? None of these other games are here without it?
It's the first great football game ever made.
So there's other games here.
It's not the fourth best. I'd argue it's one. Tecmo Bowl is my vote.
I don't know about it being one, but Tecmo Bowl gets my vote here too.
Okay. I'm very consistent with my picks here.
I mean, I understand. Tecmo Bowl is I think it's a better game than Knockout Kings. We'll get into it more, but Tecmo Bowl, I understand it has its issues with, the whole licensing thing and how the exact team names weren't there yet. And you had the not overrated, but overpowered plays with Bo Jackson, but overpowered play, I should say, with Bo Jackson. But Tecmo Bowl, just so much fun. I had more fun playing Tecmo Bowl than Knockout Kings.
Got it. So I'm getting a lot of people trashing me for this. You'll get my point in a minute. You'll get my point. It's coming soon. Scroll up. I literally coming in a couple matchups. Tiger Woods PGA 04 versus Blades of Steel. Blades of Steel was one of my first loves. Loved the game. I'm going Blades of Steel. First two, I'm going first. I'm not going first anymore. Blades of Steel is my pick, though.
I'm going with Tiger Woods PGA 04. I feel like I just keep going up against. I keep going against Gene, but that's not intentional. I gotta say I love playing Tiger Woods PGA 04.
Blades of Steel is amazing, bro. Talk about OGs, bro. Don't change your votes.
This sucks because I have such a soft spot like Gene does for Blades of Steel.
I love Blades of Steel.
You know what the better game is, though?
It was the first really cool hockey game.
So it really was. 8 teams. Edmonton. It was so great.
And they weren't licensed either. It was.
No.
Like, Edmonton was like
the green team.
Green, yeah. Like,
it was amazing.
The Kings went old school, like they were purple and yellow, like they used to. Like it was whatever. Tiger Woods was just a different beast, though. It put golf games on the map. Like golf games were kind of always like. I don't want to say like
getting trash for like wireline already.
You know what the right answer is.
No, it's Blades of Steel.
I don't want to say nerds, but golf game. This made golf a mainstream game.
Oh, don't do it.
Like everybody is hitting
Blades of Steel on the wireline.
Everybody started playing Tiger Woods.
We got Joseph Jeffers, Petey
goes again. I'm just kidding. Exactly. Whatever I say, Petey says the opposite.
What are you going?
He's
going
for the show.
You're going PGA? Blades of Steel, brother. Come on.
You know the right answer, Bill.
I'm going Tiger.
That's the right answer.
I'm 0 for 2 on my picks. That's why I'm not going first anymore. So now I'm going to be the decider.
That one bothers me though.
That's
actually bothers me.
Okay. Tecmo Super Bowl versus NBA Jam. I'm picking going forward. Cottrell, give us a start.
We already know your pick here, so it's not.
I didn't go.
It's not hiding it too much.
I didn't go yet.
I'm gonna go with Tecmo Super Bowl here. I love both of them. Had both Super Nintendo. But Tecmo Bowl is it, man. Talk about a game that could be one of the best football games ever. This is one of them. I'm going Tecmo Super Bowl here.
Shally.
I mean, I'll pick, since you want to go last, I'll pick NBA Jam just to make it interesting.
Why?
I love them both. So,
NBA Jam's great. Tecmo Super Bowl is
NBA Jam
amazing.
They're both trendsetting games. Again, NBA Jam had an.
It's very obvious that Bill has an affliction for Tecmo Bowl over Tecmo Super Bowl.
That's fine. I mean, just like you have an affliction for Super Bowl over Tecmo Bowl. What's the difference? All right.
Tecmo Super Bowl is still being played.
So who cares? People play Tecmo Bowl.
No.
You also forget Tecmo Bowl
still
came
tournaments
out.
for Tecmo Super Bowl. Tecmo Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, because it came out on a better system. You also forget Tecmo Bowl came out on freaking Nintendo, dude.
They both came out on Nintendo.
And then Tecmo came out on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, you're right, but they came out on Nintendo. Tecmo Super Bowl is the answer. Move it on, and it's by far the better Tecmo Bowl. It's not close. It's not close. It's not close.
Yell.
John Madden Football, the OG, versus NBA Live 05.
I'll go first on this one. Give me NBA Live 05.
NBA Live 05.
Well, screw you guys. John Madden Football.
That one was pretty easy to me. Don't get me wrong. John Madden Football was good because it was, the first one of its kind, but NBA Live 05 was a better game.
But that
John Madden Football was amazing. What are you guys talking about?
NBA Live 05 was the better game.
The show wasn't born when it was out.
It's not even like what it is now, though. Like, it's
correct.
Madden was like a step above, like.
And if you want to go off your standards, it's the second best Madden on this list.
Damn.
See, you know what? That's fine for now. We'll get into it. Scroll over right side. Bottom left. Bottom left. It's not a dinger. We'll get into it in a minute. NCAA 06 versus Fight Night Round 4.
I want to go last for once.
I'll go first.
Good.
NCAA 06.
Cool. NCAA 06.
Hey,
doesn't really matter.
This is fun. NCAA football 06 was sweep. I like that though because it is the better game.
Sweep. It is. Fight Night Round 4 is an amazing, but I don't want.
Good.
There's a lot of like spiteful votes in this right now.
So I promise.
The last two have been right though.
Across this table.
Last two have been right though.
I am picking my picks no matter what you guys pick, and I have them all mapped out before you guys go.
Right.
So it's not like I'm not changing picks based on this.
That's fine. I got my picks mapped out too.
NCAA 14 versus Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I'll go.
Who?
20 years ago.
Who?
What?
Bill said
I'll go second.
Bill said he's. I don't want. Okay, I guess I'll go last again. That's cool. Hopefully, I have some excitement here.
I'll go Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Damn it,
in a landslide.
I'm also going Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Let me decide.
Bro, Glass Joe, you ain't deciding shit. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Guys, just working a little. Oh, this isn't that hard. This is the easiest one.
Agreed.
I'm gonna go first. ESPN NFL 2K5 baby.
Same.
Anybody want to argue that?
I think. Listen, the merits of MVP baseball are. I mean, you can make
so
the
many
argument.
people. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go. Keep giving me your picks in a while. We'll slow it down for you guys to get more picks.
MVP is a great game.
It's probably.
I think
honestly,
I mean a great. It's a bad matchup for it. It's going up against the best football game ever.
I think of this list. I personally, this might be an unpopular opinion. I like playing MVP Baseball 05 more than MLB The Show 13. MLB Baseball 05 was so fun to me. That was back when the Yankees were, I mean, obviously the Yankees are always great, but the Yankees had their loaded team. You had the Red Sox with their loaded team. It was so fun to play. The season modes and everything, I absolutely loved the game.
It's another game that was way ahead of its time. Like, and it literally, that became, like, that set the new standard for baseball games. I wouldn't argue with that at all. But again, you were talking about debatably maybe the best game on this list.
ESPN NFL 2K5 in a landslide.
Yeah.
I'm going to go second this one. Who's going to go first?
Bill.
NHL 94.
Control, go second.
I already know where you're going again.
You don't know where
I'm going to go Madden 05 with this one. I was going to go Madden 05 the whole time. Give me Madden 05, though.
Okay. You want to make an argument for either side? This is the last matchup. This is the biggest matchup. Do you feel strongly about NHL 94?
I do.
Do you feel strongly about Madden 05?
I do.
Our votes are kind of pointless at this
Do
point.
Do you want to hear some sway? Do you want me to give my candidate its due?
My game rests on its laurels.
So,
it doesn't need any sway.
Madden 05 was. I just want to put this in perspective. Madden 04 was such a great game. Madden 05 was even better than 04. Introduced the hit stick. Without the hit stick, Madden isn't what we know it as right now. Without the hit stick, you could argue that we don't have all the X factors and all this fancy stuff now before they introduced the hit stick in 05. They had the training camp where you could do, hone in on all your skills, get all your skills together. You could create a team in Madden 05. You could get the color scheme together, pick the logo, and be completely customized. If you wanted to be the quarterback of I don't even know.
Toronto Argonauts.
The Philadelphia Wire2Wire Bandits. You could be that guy. I could be your running back if you wanted to be.
So the Bandits?
That
Okay.
Greatest
Bill,
game.
Anything you want to add to NHL 94?
No, again, I mean, it was, you want to talk about the first games where, like, kind of like you said, like, people played tournaments. Like, that was a game, like, I've seen NHL 94 ruin friendships. People will get...
Give me a story.
People will get in fist fights. Like, listen, we used to play tournaments at my buddy's house all the time. His dad was the first one to have one of those humongous, like, big-ass projection TVs. So we would play it on there all the time. People get in fist fights because if you were going up for 2 or 3 periods, you had an advantage over the team that was going down. It was a great game. It's the first game you could check. You put people through glass. It's even your credit. 04 isn't even the best one.
Okay, so I have a very love fest with Madden.
I know you do.
I played Madden tournament 05, finished 3rd place.
Did you play an NHL 94 tournament?
No, I didn't. I was too young. I was 9.
It's the love.
Follow me.
Love of the game.
Follow me real quick. I played Madden 05 a ton. I played it for money constantly at my buddy Chris's house. I would play people for money. I would put up $50. They put up 10, and I would beat them every time. Wouldn't be close. I was very, very good at Madden 05. I'm still in a Madden league to this day. We just got our draft selections for our next draft. If this was Madden franchise versus NHL franchise, Madden would win in a landslide. This is not Madden franchise versus NHL franchise. NHL 94 with the wraparound, the first one-timer, the speed burst.
Body check.
And in my personal opinion, if Madden 05 is the 3rd best football game still left on this list, I'm going to NHL 94. And NHL 94 is moving on to the next round. It's an OG hockey game. It's an incredible hockey game. And I just, Zach, just putting someone through the glass.
Was the cool, like, that was one of the things when it came out, like, we literally would play games and, like, we weren't trying to score. Like, we would just skate to see until somebody would get it. Was 94 also the first year you could break the glass with a slap shot, or was that 95?
I don't know, but I know you could check someone through the glass in 94.
94
I knew that was the one-timer. I knew the wraparound. The wraparound glitch.
The wraparound glitch.
It was great.
If you were going up and you went around, the goalie's going to stop it.
Okay, so let's preview the Elite 8 for next week.
All right.
NHL 94,
Good
the best
Lord.
hockey game left. First, ESPN NFL 2K5.
That's a heavyweight matchup right there.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out versus the greatest college football game ever made, NCAA 06.
Kind of easy.
I don't think so. Tecmo Bowl versus Tiger Woods in the 13 versus 12, the Ohio versus Buffalo bracket.
I don't know who gave you that intel.
They
lied to you.
Gene's hate for Tecmo is real.
And then Tecmo Super Bowl, the way, 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 way better Tecmo Bowl versus NBA Live 05. So you have the best NBA game left. You have the best fighting game left. You have 2 of the best football games left. And you got Tecmo Bowl at the bottom. This is going to get wild. The Elite Eight's going to be fire.
We could have 3 football games in the Final Four.
That's not happening.
I know, because you just hate Tecmo.
Well, actually, it might happen.
Might.
Because I'm going to get outvoted on Tecmo.
Yeah.
Aren't I?
Yeah. You don't know what happens.
Yeah.
Hey,
we control the show. Everybody.
Oh, shit.
That's a
We
good
control
point,
everything.
too.
Actually, you know what? Elite Eight. What do you say? You could also.
You could score from the blue line in 95.
I can't wait to get into the Elite Eight. Let's do it now. I'm kidding. Can't do it. We got the Hogs list. The Hogs list.
Big boys.
We got the big boys this week. Offensive linemen. There's 5 positions. There's only 10 spots. There's 32 teams. There's 150, 160 starters in the league. We got to limit it to 10. Let's get rolling. Let's get rolling into big boys. FIFA lost. Road to the Show lost. World Cup 98 didn't make it. I was answering Joseph Jeffers, by the way. All right, so NFL offensive lineman. You guys have honorable mentions? I have honorable mentions. I have 4 of them.
I have a tie for 10th.
I have.
So then if you don't have it, just wait till your time.
I mean, I feel like I had too many honorable mentions to even go over, but if they didn't make my list, then they probably should have just know I was up all night trying to figure that portion of it out.
See, I'm cheating.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to cheat. I'm cheating. I have 4 honorable mentions. 4 honorable mentions.
Jesus.
4 of them. But it's tough. This list was tough. It was excruciating. And then Bill's gonna go first with his tie for second.
And then he's got to give his love to the hometown team. So
that's
probably why.
I will never give you intel ever again. Because the only intel I ever given you,
you're
using against me
I would have already
Damn.
known. I already know I know how you guys get. You guys talk about me being Homer Simpson. You guys love your Eagles here.
This
is
all
right.
These 2, I'm assuming. All right, whatever.
And I bet they're on Chally's list. I bet that's why he has a tie for 10 as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
I have
intel that
Jack. My honorable mentions for this week are Wyatt Teller of the Browns.
I just love how that all comes out, and then the first honorable mention is a Cleveland guy. That's cool.
Corey Lindsey, whatever, from the Chargers. The Philadelphia Eagles, Iron Man. The man with the broken arm still playing. Just pop it back into place, coach. Jason Kelsey, the greatest Super Bowl speech ever.
That it is.
And a bad man that's going to come back this year. That's probably the most in shape offensive lineman in all football. And if he stays healthy for the entire year, he is the best right guard in football. Brandon Brooks. They're my honorable mentions.
Andre Dillard, number 1.
Andre Dillard is awful, and they need to make the decision right now to start Jordan Mailata. He is getting abused in training camp, and now Mailata is not getting the snaps with the first-team offense like he should because they're trying to force Andre Dillard down people's throats. Sorry.
As long as it's not Jason Peters.
Shall I start us off with your number 10?
Number 10, I have a tie for number 10. One of the guys you just mentioned, Brandon Brooks.
How didn't I see that one coming?
And with him, I have Lane Johnson. I think if they're both healthy, they are the best right side offensive line in the league. They both have a lot to prove this year. We've seen them at their peak when they're healthy. They're dominating. They are a dominating duo on the right side of an offensive line. I don't think it's any kind of stretch. You can call it homer all you want. If they're healthy, they're probably both higher up on this list.
Correct.
Lane Johnson has been healthy in 2 years.
I said if. This is a projection list. Thank you, sir.
I'm just saying.
Thank you.
To be fair, the reason Lane Johnson wasn't healthy last year is because he was trying to rush back from his injury from prior.
I'm just saying, you had a guy last week who had an injury. You had a guy with injury history last week, Joey Bosa. You didn't even have him on your list, but the Philly guy makes it on your list. I'm just saying.
I did.
I'm just saying.
So I'm consistent.
Okay, you have 2 Eagles at your 10 spot.
Yes, correct.
And I think Brandon Brooks could be so good if he just stays on the field for 16 games.
If he stays healthy,
17.
He's way higher up on this list next
Agreed.
year.
Who's your 10?
My number 10 is Orlando Brown, the newest member of the Kansas City Chiefs O-line. He was in Baltimore last year. He was their go-to tackle after Ronnie Stanley got hurt. I think he's going to have a lot of success there in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is going to make him look incredible because Patrick Mahomes is incredible, and he makes a lot of plays last. So I think Orlando Brown is going to have a really good year.
Speaking of that, I have Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney is my number 10. He's a beast. I don't want to get too far in this. I'll start with number 9. Number 9, Teron Armstead on my list, who's not on Control's list either.
Not on my list either.
That's okay.
There'll be a lot. I think if there was ever a list where these are all going to be different, it's going to be this week.
And I think the other thing too with Armstead, like this, of course, like I said, this is a guy who definitely could have been on my list. It's not like he's far off or anything like that. I have to consider age, and I also have to consider circumstance with everything. Teron Armstead is a guy who he is an anchor there in New Orleans, but with what they got going on right now, I just don't know if he's in the best position to be successful with everything.
I think offensive lineman translates no matter what team they're on.
Yeah, until you're running a different scheme and you got guys making you look bad. Like I don't know what's going to happen back there with Jameis if he's just going to sit there and take sacks. Not saying that's going to be Armstead's fault, but I'm just saying the eye test with everything.
It's fair.
I tend to lean with Gene on that one.
Give me your number 9.
If you can block,
Contrell.
if you can block, you can block.
My number 9 is a guy who's on the defending Super Bowl champions, Tristan Wirfs. I think he's going to take another leap this year. I thought he was really good. I thought he was the best offensive tackle from that class last year. At least that's how he played on the field.
Very early, but I get it.
But Tristan Wirfs is a guy who I absolutely love, and I think him being with that Tampa Bay team, as good as their offensive line is, he's going to transcend and look even better this upcoming season.
If we had a top 10 most valuable players moving forward or top 10 players based on potential, he'd be very high on my list.
Tristan was my number 11. He was literally the last person I left off. If we were doing an honorable mention, I would have said him earlier.
Give me your number 9.
The only center.
Your number 8.
The only center that made my list, I got Frank Ragnow from Detroit. Dude's a stud. He's obviously been buried on a terrible team for a long time. This dude would start pretty much on any NFL team. He's probably, if he's not 1, he's 2. He's probably, in my opinion, he's the best center in the NFL. But again, you don't see him or hear about him a lot. If you look at his pass grades, his run blocking grades, run win rates, they're through the roof. He's very, very good. Again, he just plays for an absolute dumpster fire of a football organization.
Okay, give me your number 8.
Number 8, I'm going with Rob Eric's favorite football player in the world. Best player, top 10 player in the NFL. Ronnie Stanley, left tackle from Baltimore.
Rob, I love you. I really do. I love you, Rob. Like, you're awesome. I know you're listening. That was a moment right there when you had him in your top 10 players of 2019 when he got injured in week 6.
You know what the good thing for him is, though?
Sorry. Yeah.
He sits next to Hot Take Dante, so
it doesn't get
it just gets
Hot
glossed
Take.
over.
I hope Hot Take's the line.
He's here. He commented earlier.
I know, but he's away right now.
He's probably waiting for the UFC talk.
Love it. All right, so
everybody knows about Everybody knows Ronnie Stanley. He's great. I think he's fallen off a little bit the last couple of years, but
I don't. I just think he got hurt. Yeah. I have him higher up.
Okay, me too.
My number 8 is Pave the Lane. And it's the only one I put a nickname for him, Pave the Lane. Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson, without a doubt, without a shadow of doubt, after 2017 and 2018 season, he was the best right tackle in football. In 2019, he got hurt. In 2020, he tried rushing back so he could be healthy, played hurt the first 4 games, then shut it down to get completely healthy. Lane Johnson is going to have a great year this year, and he's going to be the best right tackle in football again.
And
it's funny you said
it was funny. Well, no, I was just saying when you were talking about earlier about the best shape offensive lineman, that's who I thought you were talking about.
Oh, Brandon Brooks is.
Well, he's right behind him then.
Yeah.
I mean, what do they call it? The bro gym or whatever the hell it's called?
Jalen Hurts has been in there.
Yeah.
I'll speak about him in a minute, too.
That's good.
Give me your number 8.
Maybe you can learn to throw a screen pass.
My number 8 is the best right tackle in football, Jack Conklin. He's the reigning first-team All-Pro right tackle, and it's a guy in Cleveland. I think he's going to have a lot of love. Yeah, the first 2020 first-team All-Pro. You're right. Yeah, he makes my list. Number 8.
It's because the best right tackle wasn't playing.
Yeah, what's new? It's been 2 years. Anyway, with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt running all over, Baker's going to have a good year. Conklin's just going to look even brighter in that Browns offense.
Yeah, I like it. Give me your number 7.
My number 7 is the guy not right next to him, but he's also on the line with him, Wyatt Teller. Wyatt Teller is
You have Wyatt Teller 7?
Wyatt Teller is the 3rd best guard in football, and I think he is such a difference maker on that team. I think that's another guy who can be right in the mix for All-Pro this year.
Okay, Bert. Give me your number 7.
I have Wyatt Teller as number.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Talk that talk
7?
now, buddy.
7. He's good, bro. He's good.
I have him as my honorable mention.
Played 11 games last year. If he played 14, he would have been first-team All-Pro last year as well.
Just talking about Lane Johnson's history.
My thing, correct, but my thing with him
one
is,
time, 11 games. Before that, 16.
2 years in the league.
And he's also younger.
I think he's still getting better. I think I'll have a better year this year than he did last year. So
Talk that talk, Bill. I like that.
So again, this is a prediction show.
My 7's Laramie Tunsil.
The dog pound thing.
my 7's Laramie Tunsil. Buried on a bad team, but Laramie Tunsil is my number 7.
Talk about like bad timing. You want to talk about timing in an NFL career? He got out of Miami when they were an absolute dumpster fire.
Went to Houston.
Thinking he was moving
Deshaun
up, and he would
Watson.
give anything to get back to Miami.
I got Laramie Tunsil 7. I go 6 now, right? Everybody give her 7?
Yep.
Okay, my 6 is Rob's number one player in the world, Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley's a beast, right? Let's be clear about this real quick. The first 6 games of last year, Ronnie Stanley was probably the best left tackle in football.
It's fair.
He's absolutely unbelievable. He doesn't give up sacks. He's strong. He's fast. Yeah, Ronnie Stanley deserves his roses. Not number one offensive lineman in the league, but top 6.
If you understand football and you've ever watched him play, then again he stands out very quickly.
My number 6 is also Ronnie Stanley. I think this is a guy who's gonna look special. I think he's gonna be coming back from the injury. I'm sure he's gonna look just as good, if not better, this upcoming year. I think that team as a whole has gotten better, and I'm just sticking with the running theme here. I think if the team looks better and your quarterback looks better, J.K. is going to take a step this year. That puts the spotlight more on the offensive line as well, and I think that's when they get their roses. So Ronnie Stanley is my number 6 as well.
Number 6 for me, I have Tunsil. So, I mean, we're close
6
there.
Across the board. Solid. Just Brian Peterman just said Tunsil's not good. Okay.
All right. I mean, do we want to elaborate on that, or why is he not good?
He just said he's not good, LOL, like a 14-year-old girl. It's not good, LOL. All right, give me your number 6, Cottrell.
I just did.
He just did.
So wait, we're at 5 then.
Yes.
You're 5.
My 5, I have a player from Gene's low-key favorite team in the NFC East, not the Eagles. I have Brandon Sheriff, guard from Washington football team.
Wow.
Anchors that line. Very good. Again, I watched a little bit of tape on him today.
They're not low-key my favorite team. I just like Fitzpatrick and Chase Young.
I know.
And Montez
Sweat. Balls.
And Terry McLaurin.
And the whole team.
Jesus.
And the defense.
Like 4 players.
And you bet money on them every week. It's fine. He's the best lineman on that line. It's a line that's getting better.
It's ranked the 3rd best offensive line in football. So I get it.
He's a very, very solid, very good player. He's an athletic kid. I like him. The more I watched him today, the more I liked him.
Number 5, Control.
My number 5 is another guard from that division. I got Zach Martin from Dallas as my number 5. I think he's gonna be really good for that Cowboys team. I know you guys hate Dallas and everything, but Zach Martin's a guy who he's just tough. Like, he goes out there, he plays.
You can't hate Zach Martin.
He plays through everything, it seems like, and he knows what he needs to do, and I think he's going to really anchor that Dallas O-line this year.
I will say this.
Bro, I can't hate on Zach Martin.
No. I'm surprised you have him as low. I think
Same.
that's kind of why me and
I think
Gene,
I'm low too.
Yeah, me and Gene looked at each other.
The problem is, though, is that I value my tackles.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
That's fine.
That's where I'm at.
Okay. I know something. That's why. My number 5 is Big Trent.
It's kind of like
Trent.
It's kind of like the D-line, though. Like, I value my edge, but you know what you know at the top.
My number 5 is Big Trent. Give me Trent.
5?
Yeah. Well, you think that's too low, right?
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't mind this. I have Trent Williams. Trent Williams 3 years ago, before he held out for Washington, was number 1. Trent Williams now is the 5th best lineman in football. It's a little bit of a step back. I think last year it showed that he was starting to age a little bit, but he's getting into that Jason Peters realm where, not Jason Peters like last year, but like near the end where it feels like he's just wrapping everything. He's walking off the field for like a set, 2 sets.
Didn't he miss camp last year?
Yes.
Okay, so he wasn't in shape. That's fine. I mean, again, they're all valid points. I get it.
Who's your number? Oh, so my number 4. I got Ryan Ramczyk, number 4. I know I said that name wrong. Can you please fix it for me?
That's right. No, Ryan Ramczyk's right.
Perfect. I have Ryan Ramczyk, number 4. Cottrell, give me your 4.
My number 4 is Trent Williams, San Francisco. I mean, all the points you just gave, I just think that he's going to be – it seems like I thought after him taking the year off in Washington, I thought that he wouldn't come back the same. And, yes, he did. There was times where it seemed like he was taking, it plays off that he normally doesn't. But as a whole, he was an animal, and he was one of the best tackles in football. I think he still is going to be at that level. And, yeah, I mean, he's going to anchor that San Francisco O-line.
Number 4, Bill.
I got David Bakhtiari from Green Bay. Everybody knows how important he is, obviously, protecting Aaron Rodgers.
It's a little bit of a hater.
Soft ass. But, I mean, all you got to do is watch.
I bet you if he wasn't on Green Bay, he'd have him higher. He low-key hates Green Bay.
No, I hate Aaron Rodgers.
It's fair.
I like everybody else in that team, actually. I just don't like Aaron Rodgers. You would talk about soft as baby shit, my lord. all you had to do was watch a championship game last year when he wasn't there and,
Yep.
and how much they struggled. I mean, that tells you all you need to know.
I completely agree with you. I have him higher.
Yeah. So
Give me your 3 then.
My 3 is Zach Martin, guard from Dallas. Zach Martin's funny to me only because, I mean, you know Frank, a huge Notre Dame guy. I knew about Zach Martin like way before a lot of other people did. He actually met him at a breakfast one time when he went out there. And he told me about him his freshman year. He's like, just keep watching him. He's going to be a stud. And then he watched him progress through college and then get drafted and turn into what he's been into. So it's crazy. And again, I think toughness is a great word to attach to him. He plays hard all the time, and he's still dominant. He's as good as that Dallas line's been. He's always standing out, which again to me just shows how good he is. If you're on a great offensive line and you're still sticking out for good reasons, you're really good. So Zach Martin for me at 3.
Give me your 3.
My number 3 is Ryan Ramczyk from New Orleans. All the reasons you said earlier, Ryan Ramczyk's really a good. I mean, he's a Wisconsin O-lineman for God's sake. So of course he knows how to block people. The one thing I love about Ryan is that he's just as good in the run game as he is in the pass game. And he has Teron Armstead on the other side of him. So those two guys really hold down those edges. So I think Ryan Ramczyk's poised for another great year.
You know, it's funny. I didn't say anything about him. You said for all the points that you said earlier. I said I have for number 4. Ryan. No, I'm kidding, bro. Give me your number. Oh, my number 3.
Your 3.
Zach Martin from Dallas Cowboys.
Nice.
Zach Martin is, dude. Listen, I'll tell you right now. If he wasn't a Cowboy, I might have him 1 or 2. And if he wasn't hurt 2 years ago and a little bit banged up last year, I might have him 1 or 2. Zach Martin is an animal, and he's one of the only people in the league that I see man-to-man slow down Fletcher Cox and man-to-man slow down Aaron Donald. And he did it in 2 different scenarios. And he's an absolute mauler. He's elusive. He's quick. He's got great arm work, great leg work. He can shift his feet well. He picks up blitzes well. And he's got a mean streak to him. And I hate saying all that about Dallas Cowboy. But that's my number 3.
Stupid good hands.
Correct. My number 2 is David Bakhtiari. And then here's all I'm going to say about him. Ready? I have number 2. I have David Bakhtiari too. And the only thing I need to say about him is watch the NFC Championship game.
What did I do?
Because he was definitely Aaron Rodgers' blind spot. He was his protection. He was everything. He was his confidence he needed.
Watch any game and then watch that game. I'll tell you all you need to know about him.
David Bakhtiari is my 2. Who's your 2, Cottrell?
My number 2 is also David Bakhtiari.
For all the reasons you just said.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Best left tackle in football. Left tackle is the most important position out there. It's David Bakhtiari.
I have Trent Williams too.
Okay, that's fair. And who's your 1?
I have Quentin Nelson as 1.
Who's your 1?
Quentin Nelson.
Yes! Yes! Sweep the board with a guard at number 1.
Listen, he's dominant. I looked it up today. I was looking at his PFF stuff and everything. He had the best pass and run block win rates of any offensive lineman in the league.
Unbelievable.
And he's just getting better.
Yes. Shame about the injury.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell kind of grass they're playing on out there, but
both were prior injuries, apparently. I just think they have a medical staff that's very in-depth. These are injuries you really don't catch.
Quentin Nelson's been there for a little while now, so you would have hoped that they caught it before.
Yeah,
now,
he missed Carson is
new.
One thing.
Carson is new, yeah.
Maybe they were talking and they were like, "Hey, I have the same feeling."
They said it's literally almost the same exact thing.
Same injury.
Same spot on the foot and everything. They did say Carson's surgery went very, very well today. They expect him closer to the 5 than they do the 12.
I would love him to start week 1. It's still a possibility.
I think you're probably getting 2 or 3.
I want him to start week 1 versus Seattle.
I'm telling you guys, the problem is if they win the first 2 without him, they're gonna
Bro.
slow play it. I'm telling you. I'm not saying he comes back week 7.
They're not winning the first 2 out.
Are you like Dante? You think Jacob Eason's gonna go and put 30 up on Seattle?
Did I say that? Why can't they have a really good defense and they have a really good running back? Why can't they run the ball effectively and
they're
play
not
their
beating
defense?
Seattle and the Rams both games without Carson Wentz? Not happening.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna
Seattle's
beat him with
a
Carson
juggernaut.
See, where's the Seattle game
Seattle's
at?
It's in Indy. Opening day.
That's
not a juggernaut
That's either
game.
one. No. Okay, but yeah, they're probably a 7-point favorite if Wentz is playing. It's probably a 1.5 game if Eason's
So
playing.
you're saying that game
they're
can go
a
either way.
1.5-point favorite with Wentz.
The line right now.
No. This was I have the lines
okay.
from July 1st.
Okay.
They were 1.5-point favorite with Wentz. So without Wentz, they'll probably be a 3.5-point
Dog.
dog. Yep. That's so next week we have tight ends, but we're not going to have Control here.
I got my list. I'll have my list though.
He'll send me the list. Dante will be here. We'll get his whole list. Dante's filling in for Control next week.
Dante, no hot takes next week, bro.
Bro, if you say something like you did the other day.
Yeah, you're going in the booth with Jamie.
All right, so we got UFC 265. The Black Beast, Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane.
It's the most unexcited I've been for a pay-per-view in a long time.
Correct. That's the only fight we're talking about.
Nah, it's gonna be the lowest selling pay-per-view of the year by
Ever.
far.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it might be ever.
It can't be ever.
Wow.
UFC like 42 probably didn't do well.
I guess. I mean, comparatively
Depending on who's on the card, you know. If Anderson was on it, I mean, hey, you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so let's break down the fight. Cyril Gane is a minus 350 favorite. He's 9-0. He's undefeated.
That's absurd to me.
It is.
He's going against Derek Lewis, who has won his last 2 fights. Lost to Junior Dos Santos 2 years ago. Lost to Daniel Cormier 3 years ago. But Derek Lewis is coming a lot better shape. He is really taking his health seriously. The last 2 times he fought, he looked excellent, to say the minimum. Cyril Gane is a submission specialist. He's an all-around. He can knock you out. He can tap you. He can win by decision. He is 9-0, and the hype is real. He's a very good heavyweight fighter. I don't think he's a championship heavyweight fighter. He might be an interim championship heavyweight fighter because this fight he's on minus 350. So the spread's telling you he's supposed to win, right? I think Derek Lewis is a very, very, very live dog in this fight. So the more and more I break this fight down, I ask myself, how does Derek Lewis lose the fight at plus 280? Cyril Gane's not going to knock him out. He's just not. He's not a heavy knockout guy, and Derek Lewis is very, very, very tough to knock out. He's a tough brawler.
Yeah.
It's very tough to tap him, especially with Cyril Gane's size, being a smaller heavyweight than Derek Lewis is. It's going to be tough. The only way I can see him get tapped is if Cyril Gane gets around Derek Lewis's feet and gets him a little bit of an ankle lock or a little bit of a heel hook.
He does have chicken legs, though, so I mean, it's possible. He has no, like...
I wouldn't say he's a small heavyweight either. He's like 6'5", 250. Like, he's a big boy.
Smaller than Derek Lewis.
Not by like a ton,
He's taller
though.
than him. He's probably like... He probably gives up like 15, 20 pounds.
I think that you could favorably say if you bet Cyril Gane by decision, which is plus 135, and bet Derek Lewis to win the fight at plus money, at plus 280, you're guaranteeing yourself a victory. You're guaranteeing yourself money. Nothing's a guarantee, obviously. But
5-round fights with heavyweights just scare the hell out of me.
Agreed.
Decision-wise. I mean, I just feel like the odds are just not going to go 5.
Thing is, though, with Cyril Gane, his last 2 fights have been 5-round fights, and they've gone, the last 2 have gone the distance. So I think that's the way he fights. He's a methodical fighter. I think that this is a fight that can absolutely go the distance, and I 100% agree with you. It's either going to be Derek Lewis finds a way to win early. Honestly, I would even go farther. I would say it's a Derek Lewis knockout or Cyril Gane wins by decision at the end of the fight. I think those are only the 2. You said plus 280. You didn't say knockout because plus knockout would be more.
I got you. You're right. I got you. I'm sitting there like, wait, what?
No.
Dante asked, what did I say that was crazy? Would you like me to write you a list?
We're not talking about it on our show.
No, but
only got like 9 minutes left.
Jacob Eason is not letting that job go. That was one.
That's not even the worst one. Like, not even close.
Dante, I love you.
I do, too.
All right. So continue. I apologize.
I got Cyril Gane by decision. I think it's gonna go 5 rounds. I think it's gonna be a boring fight. It's not gonna be what you're used to seeing. Derek Lewis is gonna make it entertaining because he's an entertaining guy, but it's gonna be a 5 rounds.
It's gonna be terrible.
At the end of the 5-round fight. At the end of the 3rd round, it's gonna be like, what am I watching?
It is. It's gonna be a hug fest, bro. I don't know.
Give me a breakdown, Bill.
No, I mean, you guys. I mean, I don't know, it's such a weird fight. I almost feel like Kyle can't win. Like kind of like Gene. Like I just don't know how he wins, and I just don't see a decision. That's the part I can't get past. I can't see them going 25 minutes. I can't. So for me, it ends up being that I think Lewis just gets to him at some point, and Lewis has won it takes one punch for Lewis. I mean, we were talking about right before we came on air. Like, he's been behind horribly in fights. In the third round, lands one punch, and the fight's over.
Volkov.
Yeah. I'm going strictly on this one with what I want to see and what I want to happen. I'm going Lewis by knockout.
The one thing that I'll just counter your point, Derek Lewis has never gone 5 rounds in a fight.
I don't think he's going 5 Saturday
It's
either.
different. It's one thing to go, balls to the wall at the end of the 3rd round. At the end of the 5th round, I don't think he's going to have anything in the tank.
It's funny. I agree with you. Yeah, what would annoy me really bad? If Cyril Gahn holds on the first round or so when you don't want to get knocked out, and is dominating the fight, but it's very obvious you can't really stop him because Derek Lewis is just like big, strong, and Derek Lewis loses in the 5th round or the end of the 4th round by death. Like not dying really, but like
Jesus,
I'm just so out of shape.
I just get hit by everything. I'm not dodging. I'm just here
falling. I'm done.
We've seen him do it. Like, I mean, he's gone in fights in the 3rd round where he's looked like that.
3rd round's a lot different than the 5th, though.
I agree. I'm agreeing. Nobody in here thinks this fight's going 5 rounds.
You
do.
I do.
Oh my Lord. Do you?
I don't know. I think Derek Lewis stops him.
I agree.
I think it's the difference between what you want to see and what you think happens. Though.
No, what I think will happen is I think Derek Lewis will stop him.
And if he doesn't, I think he's losing the fight before that. I don't see him going 25
minutes.
minutes.
How does Cyril Gahn win the fight that doesn't go by?
He
doesn't stop him. Like, what's the argument?
I do think he gets
submission.
I do think it's submission.
That would be your best bet, probably.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anything else you guys want to look out for in this pay-per-view? That sucks because Amanda Nunes is not on it no more.
Blows. I wanted to watch her more than I wanted to watch this fight, to be honest.
I agree. Vicente Luque is fighting on this card. I think it'll be interesting to see him fight a guy that's not Tyron Woodley. I want to see if he's actually going to take the next step and be like one of the true contenders in that division, or is he kind of just the middle of the road guy consistently? And he still deserves to be in the UFC. But we don't have to think about any title shots for him anytime soon. Just because that division is so wide open right now at 170, Kamaru's pretty much gone through everybody. If he beats Colby, and then he's going to probably fight Leon next. If Vicente Luque wins this fight, he can be in the mix for down the road, thinking about afterthoughts essentially.
I'm curious to see what Jose looks like.
Can I tell you I really don't want to see Lewis versus Nagano too.
I do. I think they're both
no interest.
None. I would much rather see Lewis versus Bam Bam.
I don't think.
Tell me that wouldn't be a heavyweight fight you'd want to watch.
Bam Bam's not ranked right now. I don't think Derek Lewis take that fight in his right mind.
Yo, Bam Bam's my boy.
Bam Bam gained a lot of fans after the last show. I'm curious to see what Aldo looks like. I think this is kind of his last chance to put something together and get back into it. Because if he doesn't, I think he's done. He's only a minus 140 favorite, so very curious to see what he looks like.
Okay.
There's a women's fight on the card. Tisha Torres, is she gonna win?
Who's she fighting? I like Tisha Torres.
Do you really?
I do.
He does. I know. That's why I asked. Let's see. 265.
Let's get it. You got to be kidding me, Shreddy. I would just I just want to know who's fighting. She's fighting.
She is fighting.
Oh, Angela Hill.
Angela Hill.
See, Tisha Torres is going to win that fight.
She's going to win that fight?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Mark it down.
Jeans MMA, women's MMA prediction is in.
I mean, when you look at Angela
like
Hill's
a
fights.
90% clip.
Yeah. Well, Angela Hill won her last 2 fights versus Loma and Ashley Yoder. You know who Ashley Yoder is?
No, I know that.
Nobody does. I don't know who she is, and I watch women's MMA a lot. She's 8-7. She stinks. And then she got beat up by the Karate Hottie. Bad. Last year. She got beat up by the Karate Hottie. Bad. But whatever. I teach Torres wins the fight.
Okay.
Just by name recognition. All right, so let's get into You Gotta Be Kidding Me. Trell, give us started.
Of course. I got this week Novak Djokovic. This is a guy who...
This is great.
This is a guy,
I'm so glad that you picked this one.
He basically downplayed Simone Biles pulling out of the gymnastics events by basically saying you have to understand how to deal with pressure and like all this other nonsense. 2 days later, he slams his racket and he throws it into the empty stands because he lost a point. Not because he lost the match, not because he lost out on the medal. He lost the point. So he threw this big old temper tantrum. Then he proceeded to forfeit from his doubles match in the bronze medal game, and his teammate was forced to forfeit. So you want to talk about a guy that's used to the pressure. He's going for a Grand Slam this year. You should be used to the pressure. And to leave your teammate hanging like that in the bronze medal match, it's unbelievable. So for that, Novak Djokovic.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
That is a front runner right now for you got to be kidding me of the year. I did not laugh so hard listening to that because it's so accurate.
I just wasn't sure where you were going with it for a second, but no, it's funny now.
That is perfect. Perfect. Might be one of the year. Bill.
I have two. I'm still debating which one I want to do.
Give me both.
We got time.
Well,
yeah, Jamie and Mike don't think so.
the one's kind of involved. I haven't really digested what I want to do with it. I'm going to go with Jalen Rager.
Oh, God, this is another great one.
I
know it already.
You come into camp after your disappointing rookie season. You need to show up, and you have a brand new coaching staff. You need to show up and make an impression. Not only that, they've drafted another wide receiver that everybody in the city is just head over heels in love with. That is going to be our one that's already passed you on the depth chart. And you show up not in shape. You show up to your first training camp with a new coaching staff, with a brand new shiny wide receiver draft pick next to you, and you show up not in shape, and you fail your conditioning test. Twice. Not once, twice.
Like Dallas Goedert was on that list?
And got right off.
Next
day, passed the conditioning test. Rager failed it twice. Then not only that, he gets in a screaming match with the head coaches today.
Yep.
Because he's running the wrong routes.
He's 5th on the depth chart right now. 5th.
You were a lot higher than I was. I think we've talked about it ad nauseum on this show that I wanted to pick Jefferson. You made a good point though. He's doing himself no favors right now. None. You had a bad rookie season. You're not making an impression. I just don't know as a wide receiver how bad a shape you let yourself get into in the offseason that you fail your conditioning test. This isn't a 300-pound...
He's supposed to be a speedster, too.
Exactly. This isn't a 300-pound lineman that maybe ate too much pizza in the offseason or like last week or something that fails, struggles with the heat. He's a little wide receiver guy, again, that's supposed to be fast. How do you fail your conditioning test?
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. So, for me this week, it's Jalen Rager.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
I just don't feel like getting it.
Mine will be nowhere near as good as these two's. So mine's an altercation that happened on Instagram just yesterday. Ben Simmons and
no, this is good.
Ben Simmons is posting pictures of his workouts. And he does this all the time, and it's super annoying. But he's posting a picture of him shooting a jump shot, like pretend or looking like he's shooting a jump shot or whatever from above the free throw line. And somebody comments on it. He goes, "Ben's really going to post a picture of him shooting a jump shot." And Ben Simmons goes on his Instagram feed and replies to it with, you fat lip, look like a bee stung your lip. You Eddie Murphy, or what was it? What Eddie Murphy's character in the movie he's talking about? Regardless, I gotta get the line, but he was basically calling him fat lips and showed a picture of him and laughed at it. I hate sensitive soft superstars. I do. What, you think I was gonna go the other way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you like. Why are you mad at him? Like, he won the thing. Like, he wasn't being sensitive. He came back and trashed the dude like he's supposed to.
Okay, I don't think he's supposed to trash him.
Oh my God, dude,
it's
on Instagram.
I think Ben Simmons needs to shut up.
Oh man,
about any fans talking shit to him after that performance that he had. And you could say what you want to say, but if you're that sensitive that you're worried about what this guy's saying on your Instagram post when you passed up a dunk versus Trae Young, you gonna read it?
Look like you got stung by a bee, Nutty Professor ass.
Nutty Professor.
That's classic,
It's a
dude.
funny line.
Bro, if anybody else in the NBA would have said this, you would have loved it.
I'm a hater.
Okay, so all right, so you're honest. You hate it because it's bad. Okay, that's fair. That's fine. I love it. At least if you're on, that's fine. If you're
I
on
am
board
an
with it, fine.
absolute hater of Ben Simmons.
Okay, that's fine then. We're good.
So for this week, Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
See, that's why I think Ben should get credit. Ben was under his real name, not on a burner, and
I
just
know.
went right at him. Kevin Durant would have got his damn feelings about that.
I got 2 special shouts in the show.
So you want to go last then?
I don't know. Don't steal one of mine.
I'm not stealing anything.
Okay, good.
So I have 2 quick ones.
Damn, I got nothing this week.
You don't need
The
to.
one
Right.
is men's 4x1 is about to go on tonight, 10:30.
Are we pulling it off?
Yeah, U.S. is going to win that one. They're going to smoke everybody in the field.
They're only
Jamaica,
like minus 125. Dude.
yeah, they might be. No, they might be higher than that. They
They're
should
not.
be. If they're not, hey, go lay money on them. They're winning that. They're winning that race. And then the other race is going on. Men's 110 hurdles. Grant Holloway's going to win that race, and I think he may be in line for a world record. Very close to the Olympic trials. I think he takes the cake tonight. And then I wanted to give a special shout out to my stepdad. His birthday is on Sunday, so happy early birthday, Nate.
Wow, that's awesome. Shout out. And you got none.
I actually do have one now. I prefaced it on the preview for the show. If you didn't watch last night, everybody's talking about Caleb Dressel. He had a great week in the pool. I do think he is the next big thing in swimming. He's going to be the next. A lot of people. He's going to end up being what a lot of people wanted Phelps to be. He's more of an extrovert. He has that personality. He's all tatted up. He doesn't look like a swimmer. He had a great Olympics. I think he's going to be I think he's going to be the next big thing. I don't think he'll ever get to Phelps success wise.
Yeah,
he's just not going to swim long enough. But the other one, I don't know if anybody watched the 400-meter hurdles last night. I know you were watching it with me. Sydney McLaughlin is going to be the next. I would say this in celebrity wise, she's going to be the next Simone Biles. She's everything. She's young. She's 21. She owns a world record now. Won a gold medal last night. She's amazing crossover appeal. She is going to be the next female athlete.
household name.
Household
Jackie
name.
Joyner-Kersee.
Yes, that is what she's going to be. Everybody's going to
That's
know.
the name he was looking for.
Everybody's going to know who she is for the next 10 years.
Okay. So I've tomorrow 6:30. I'll be on ECG. Dante's out of town, so I'll be on there with Rob and Don.
Oh, you're with Rob and Don tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh.
6:30 p.m. ECG, East Coast Gridiron. Tune in. And I have 2 quick shout-outs. One is happy birthday, Mom. Today is my mother's birthday. We went to lunch today.
Where'd you take her?
We went to some place in Bristol, King something in Bristol. It's really good. I don't remember the exact name of it. King something.
Happy birthday, Mama Walzak.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, she and then she came over to my house where Carmen and Mason surprised her with balloons and presents and cake and
balloons
and a piñata filled with $100, which was fun.
Nice.
But and my second shout out is to my colleague. Tomorrow is someone's birthday. In about 2 hours, Uncle Showy turns 50.
No, it's not 50. We're getting there, though. We're getting there.
No, Uncle Showy's birthday is tomorrow. I can't, it'll be awesome to see, it's been an awesome year doing this with you. And I just want to wish you a very happy birthday, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, happy birthday, Bill.
Thanks, bud.
Only turned 50 once.
That's right.
We should be throwing him a party.
Should
so
be.
for that, Troy Polamalu, Dennis Eckersey, we're going to close the show out with little Darren Sproles, show 43.
Darren Sproles.
Signing out.